Hey lovely ladies, gorgeous gents, and crazy kids. Since 2020, I've been spending a lot more time learning how to cook. And so every 2 to 3 weeks, I find a new recipe to try. In February this year, I looked up Cajun pasta recipes on Pinterest and YouTube. Once I saw some of the same ingredients and different recipes, I kind of just stuck with my favorite one and went for it. So I'm just going to chop up some bell peppers, wash my chicken, and then cut that into bite-sized pieces. As far as seasonings, I've learned you can never go wrong with garlic and herb, Old Bay, Tony's Creole seasoning, smoked paprika, cayenne pepper, the Cajun seasoning. I mean, everybody has their master combination of how they season their food. So those are just some recommendations to try if you are not used to putting a lot of seasoning on your food. Touching meat is my least favorite part about cooking, but sometimes you got to get your hands dirty, literally. I always just mix up the chicken just a little bit, massage in the seasonings, and any patches that I see missing seasoning, just go back over it. So I've got my boiling water going here for the noodles, and then I put some olive oil in this pan for my chicken. So I'm going to go ahead and start dropping that chicken in so it can cook. So I'm going to go and add a little bit of Cajun seasoning to the chicken directly before it cooks, because I totally forgot to. Even though that's the point of this video. And then I'm going to go in with a little bit of cayenne pepper as well. Now I'm going through and just making sure all of my chicken is cooked all the way through. It is, so I'm just going to remove that from the skillet. A great tip that I've learned when cooking: don't wash your pans out. Just leave the juices there to make your meal more flavorful. I was kind of cringing in some areas editing this video because I learned this recipe in February and I make it a bit different now. I only use minced garlic, red bell pepper, and a ton of butter for whatever reason when I made it earlier this year. Now I do a portion of that butter, do different variations of peppers to make it more flavorful. I still stick with the minced garlic, but I typically add onions, mushrooms, and broccoli or spinach depending on my mood. I don't know if that's really staying true to the Cajun style, but for me it's just about making a good flavorful pasta meal that I'll enjoy. When I made this a couple weeks ago, we added in some Cajun chicken sausage, and that was really good. I don't eat red meat, so we typically only cook with chicken or turkey. But back to the video. Next, you're gonna add in your cream cheese and break that down. And then I'm adding in some whipping cream, heavy whipping cream, and then I'm gonna add in some chicken broth. Water is finally boiling back here, so I am just gonna add in my noodles. And now I'm gonna go in and add some shredded Parmesan cheese. It's starting to get really, really thick, and I don't think it's supposed to get as thick as it's getting, so I'm gonna add some more chicken broth and see if that helps thin it out just a little bit. Now that all the ingredients are in, I'm gonna start tasting it and adding seasonings as I feel appropriate. It's almost time to add the noodles in, so I'm gonna go back to my chicken and start adding that back. This pasta sauce is still a little thickum, so if I was cooking this today, I would probably take some of that pasta water that's boiling and just pour in a little bit to help thin out that sauce a little bit. Most of the recipes recommended parsley, and I didn't have any of that, so I decided to use spinach to add some greenery. And also spinach, I feel like it's one of those safe foods that you can add to pasta, and it doesn't really do much for the flavor, so you can't really go wrong with it. It smells delicious. The taste tests have been delicious. I'm happy that I added the spinach because it did give it the color that I lost without having the parsley. And now I'm adding my noodles. And I am just going to let that cook for a few more minutes and be ready to serve shortly. Alright y'all, so the noodles have been cooking in here for like 7 minutes. And it's time to plate up. So this is my final result after trying it for the first time. I think I did pretty good, but it does look rather thick. So this is what it looked like in February, my first time. I recorded a snippet of what it looked like a month later when I tried to tackle the recipe again. And already you could see that there are a lot of changes with the color, consistency, and all of that. And then I showed one more shot of it in April just so you can see my progress. Since then, I've made this about once a month and it just continues to improve. All right, so I finally took pictures of it and everything, so I finally get to dig and could not be more excited. This is my first meal of the day and I've been waiting for this all weekend. All right, make sure I got a little bit of everything and I have some heat on the back too. Thanks for watching Kandee's Kitchen. If you enjoyed it, make sure you like the video and I will see you lovely ladies, gorgeous gents, and crazy kids later. Kandee loves ya.